Have you ever wished to turn your life around completely, yet kept waiting for the perfect moment to begin? You told yourself, tomorrow I will start, but somehow tomorrow never arrived. If that sounds familiar, this story could be your wake-up call. It's about a boy named Ethan who discovered that even the smallest habits can transform an entire life. In a quiet little town surrounded by endless green fields and towering trees lived Ethan. Much like many of us, he wasn't the brightest student, the fastest runner, or the most gifted artist. But deep inside he carried enormous dreams. He longed to make his parents proud, to live a better life, to travel, to help others, and to be respected. Yet one thing stood in his way: Ethan was lazy. Not the kind of lazy where you spend the whole day asleep, but the kind where you keep saying, "I'll do it later." When homework came, he pushed it to the very last minute. When his mother asked him to help in the shop, he replied, "In a while." When he thought about learning new skills, he promised himself, "Next week." Days slipped by, then weeks, but nothing ever changed. His parents noticed. His teachers noticed. Finally, one day his father sat him down. "Ethan," he said gently, "you have dreams, but dreams don't work unless you do. Small steps matter." Ethan nodded politely, but in truth he didn't really understand. To him, great success demanded great actions. And since great actions felt frightening, he avoided them completely. One warm summer afternoon, Ethan sat beneath a sprawling banyan tree near the village temple. In his hands was his phone, and he was scrolling endlessly, laughing at silly videos. Just then an old man slowly walked past. He was carrying a basket filled with tiny clay pots. His body looked weary, yet his eyes carried a calm glow. The old man stopped and gave Ethan a gentle smile. "Young man, will you help me carry these pots to the well?" Ethan hesitated. His first instinct was to say, "I'm busy." But then he realized he wasn't doing anything meaningful at all. So he stood up and walked alongside the man. At the well, the old man filled each pot with water, then carefully placed them around the small plants in the temple garden. Ethan noticed something odd. The plants were so tiny, almost invisible beneath the grass. "Why do you water such small plants every day?" Ethan asked curiously. "They hardly seem to grow." The old man chuckled softly. "My boy, that's because you only see what's above the ground. What truly matters is what's happening underneath. These plants are building roots. Without strong roots, they will never stand tall." Ethan thought deeply about this. The old man continued, "Life works the same way. Small daily habits are like water for your dreams. You may not see the result instantly, but the roots are growing." Then he began to share his own story. "Years ago," the old man said, "I wanted to become a skilled potter. On my first day I was awful. The clay would break, my hands ached, and I thought I was wasting my time. But I practiced every day for just 15 minutes, nothing more. After a month my work improved. After a year I was making pots people wanted to buy. Today my pottery feeds my family." It wasn't magic. It was simply small habits. Ethan stayed silent. For the first time he understood why his life never changed. He had been waiting for big moments but ignoring small actions. So he asked the old man, "What small habits should I begin with?" The old man smiled warmly. "Start with these 7 habits. 1. Wake up an hour earlier. That gives you 365 extra hours a year to read, learn, or build your dreams. 2. Move your body daily. Even 10 minutes of walking or stretching gives more energy. 3. Read every day. 10 pages a day adds up to 12 books a year, and 12 books can transform how you think. 4. Set small goals. Don't try to do everything at once. Write 200 words a day or learn 5 new English words. Small wins build big confidence. 5. Do the hardest task first. Each morning, finish one important job before anything else. It makes the whole day easier. 6. Practice gratitude. Write down 3 things you are thankful for. Gratitude helps you focus on what's right instead of only what's wrong. 7. Limit distractions. Each time you reach for your phone, ask yourself, is this helping my future or stealing my time? That day, Ethan walked home slowly, the old man's words echoing in his mind. The next morning, for the first time in months, he woke up before sunrise. It felt unusual yet peaceful. He decided to spend the extra hour reading a book his father had once bought him. The following day he went for a short walk, just 10 minutes. By the end of the first week, Ethan had read 70 pages, walked every morning, and even helped his mother in the shop without being asked. At first, nothing seemed dramatic. His school marks were the same. His body looked no different. But something within him had started to shift. After a month, his teachers noticed he was paying closer attention in class. His father noticed the shop looked neater because Ethan had started cleaning a little every evening. 3 months passed. Ethan had finished 2 books. He no longer wasted hours on his phone. He even kept a diary where he wrote his goals and a nightly gratitude list. By 6 months, his grades improved, and he carried himself with new confidence whenever he spoke to people. And most importantly, he no longer kept waiting for tomorrow. Years later, Ethan grew into a successful business owner. People often asked him, "What's your secret? Was it luck? Was it talent?" Ethan would simply smile, his mind drifting back to Mr. Miller and those tiny plants. "My secret," he would say, "is that I stopped waiting for the perfect moment. I began with small daily habits. Big success is nothing more than small habits repeated again and again." And maybe, just maybe, this is what you needed to hear today. Don't wait for some dramatic change to arrive on its own. Begin with one small habit, even if it feels insignificant, even if no one else notices. Remember this: roots always grow in silence before the tree rises tall. Your life will transform the same way, when you feed it daily with action.